what would scale male of Thorns look like? Since I've been making a few different types of scales, I decided to add a spiky one to the collection. Rather than just covering a scale with loads of spikes, since it's only the bottom and middle that will be in view when the scales are assembled, the spikes only had to be in these areas. I started off by just adding a cone to one of my previous scales, the one I named Scale 03. But one little spike is simply not enough. It looks a bit lonely, a bit too plain. So I added a little family of cones. This is what it looked like after I printed it out. I don't know why, but for some reason, every time I print something out, it never looks quite as I imagined it would, despite the fact that I have a perfectly accurate 3D image of it in front of me before I print it. Anyway, I really didn't like it. I did consider just making the spikes bigger, but these cones just look boring to me. So I decided to make them look like thorns instead. Rose thorns. I reckon you could probably experiment with putting the spikes at different angles to get different looks as well. For this one, I decided on having the spike point downwards just a tad. But one thorn isn't enough, so I added one more. Just a little one. It looks a bit more mean and jagged with that extra little thorn. I think this looks way better than the previous one. I thought these would make really good shoulder pieces, so that's what I'm making here. It's pretty obvious that these are spiky, right? But I didn't realize how spiky they were until I started crocheting with them. This was very uncomfortable to make. I kept getting scratched and poked. It was difficult to get a comfortable grasp on the fabric, and I kept dropping the scales because I didn't want to grab anything too tight. But it is finished. The shoulder piece for Scale Male Armour of Thorns. Since this is actually pretty spiky, I'm not going to be putting this one up on Thingiverse. I don't want anybody to get hurt. I reckon it would probably look even better if the thorns increased in size towards the lower or middle part of the fabric, but that's a project for another day.